Hi, my name is Lauren Stone, and if you're new here, welcome to my channel. My husband Jason and I for the last year have converted this van, a 2019 Ram ProMaster that we call Sam, for us and our two dogs, Miles and Potato. Now we are living full-time on the road. It's been about a week now since it's been official, since our house closed, and we literally don't have anything except for a 5x5 storage unit somewhere in the Carolinas and us here in the van. So I made a video last week that was all about the van tour. I gave you the grand tour, the landscape of our van. So I figured in honor of that video, there are two other videos that I am going to make. This one being all the things that we hate about our van. Okay, hate is a strong word, and I will say strongly dislike. Things that make things more inconvenient, maybe, or things that we wish we would have done differently. And then the next video, I'm gonna do all the things that we love about our van, which there's a ton to love about this van, but that's not what today is about. Today is about the things we would do differently. So I'm just gonna go ahead and dive right in. First, I'm gonna take you into the bedroom. I'm gonna jump up here because you do have to jump up. Okay, I'm gonna take off my slippers. We have indoor shoes, so. So the very first thing that I will say, and it gets brought up a lot, is something that would have been a big financial investment, but I think would have been really well worth it. Jason definitely thinks so, is adding flares to our van. Now, flares, if you don't know, are basically installments that you can put on the backside to basically extend the van a few inches on either side, just to make it longer. Because right now, when we lay down, I will show you, head to toe. Potato's gonna come up. He's gonna get jealous. You can come up. There you go. Good boy. So when we lay head to toe, right, it's like perfect. Literally feet to head. I even have a little bit of space. So I can sleep perfectly like this. Jason is a hair taller than me, but when we have the dogs, because even though we made all this bench space, the dogs still sleep with us, it's still a little cramped. So just having, like, especially if you want to sprawl, lay your arms out, whatever, it's just a little bit cramped. So if we had the extra few inches, you know, we could lay our arms back, or if you want to, whatever, I don't know, however you want to sleep in the middle of the night. So that would be something, especially because we have these two beautiful, stop that, beautiful creatures who like to snuggle with us. Sleep is so unbelievably important. When we don't get a good night's sleep, it just makes everything else more difficult. Decision making that you have to do all the time when it comes to the van. We have to work just getting along in a cramped environment, taking care of ourselves. So while we do get good sleep, it probably would have been a little bit improved if we had those few extra inches on either side. The second thing that we would have done differently about this van is tightening up the dimensions. Now, caveat, we have never done anything like this before. You know, Jason has minimal experience with like woodworking, if you even want to call it that. I have zero, none. So this is all completely like without experience that we built this van. For example, our cabinets are a little bit squeaky, and that's because we didn't do the dimensions correctly. Or another example, let me show you. This area here is our toilet and a bench seat. But look, it's so darn close that if the table is just a hair off, you know, it bumps. Same thing, you can see all of the scratches that have happened on the seat because it's, see, I was just about to do it then. So we have to make sure we move this. Make sure to not knock here. And as you can see, there's quite a lot of empty space that we don't use for the toilet because the toilet is significantly smaller than the actual bench. And with small spaces, every little centimeter counts. We also have some empty space on either side of the fridge. We knew that we needed to air it out, but we didn't need to have this much space, which would have provided probably 4 inches in total that we could use width-wise for the entirety of our kitchen space. With that being said, you can also see that the drawers are not level, so we have had issues with our drawers and the drawer slides and things like that. Which brings me to our dining table. That would be number 3. This has worked out great for us. We don't actually always have this up because we turn this whole section into a lounging couch hangout space. It's really good for us and the dogs, but we need a table sometimes to eat, to work, to write, to do whatever it is we need to do. So we have this adjustable table base on the bottom. Just with this knob, you turn it, you can pull it down. It turns into the couch. The thing with this is that, again, the dimensions, if they were done a little bit better, these are 3-inch cushions. And we kind of did like the seating based off of this, not really taking into consideration the thickness of the cushion. So that means that, as you can see, we don't have a ton of space here. We wish that the table was a little bit higher. There was one other table base I was considering getting, and I didn't do it because I didn't want to spend the extra money, but it would have been significantly worth it because it goes up a couple extra inches, which would have made a huge difference in terms of the table. So it's not an end of the world thing because we can absolutely replace this table base at any point. So that's probably something we're going to do sooner than later. Next up is going to be number 4, and that is our bench. The way the bench was built, we didn't know what we were doing, okay? So let me show you. First off, again, dimensions, very close. If the table is just a hair off, then it gets knocked. As you can see, we have this giant bar and this post that goes right down the middle, and there's this gap on either side of the bench, which takes away from ample storage space. We could have utilized this space significantly better with the storage that we need. And so right now it's kind of just like a mess all over the place. So yeah, so I wish that we had really thought about a different way to be able to build this bench entirely. So that ties in really well to the next thing is we didn't add any gas struts to our bench or our cabinets. So when we go in to get something, we hold it up with our head. And then we let it slow close. We did think to do it, but installing gas struts are like really hard. And we had just gotten off of like with the drawer slides. I don't know if you saw that episode. It was so frustrating, so annoying. And clearly we didn't do a good job anyways, but I digress. Jason said that might be my Christmas present this year. So he said, I will install gas struts for you. So you no longer have to use your noggin to hold up the cabinets. And it's also like really weird when I try to hold this up to like get dog food. I do this like stance like this, and then I bend over. It's like, because I can't, it won't like stay up, it'll fall. So yeah, gas struts. That's probably one of the next things we need to do. Would have been smart. So this brings us to number 5, 6. I think we're on. We also have an outdoor shower, but in order to have an outdoor shower, you need some kind of port to be able to attach your hose. And our brilliant idea was to put it at the most inconvenient spot ever. Not ever, but it's not ideal. So it's actually under here. So we lift up our fold-out table. We put socks under there because when we drive, it rattles. There's a lot of janky things, okay? This is a lot of janky things. Let me show you where our port is. Ta-da! There's the port, which is fine because then the hose can connect and go out the door. But the only way to access it is if you have this table lifted, which can get really annoying when you have to go in and out of the van. So it would have made more sense to put it on the outside. So that way when you have the door slid open, it's facing outside. The reason why we didn't do that was because, and I still kind of want to do this, is I wanted to install a fold out table. So that way when we're hanging out outside, I don't have to like set up and assemble the table and take it down and all of that. It's just a table that is already attached to the van and is just like another way to utilize the space. So that's why I didn't want to have the port on the outside. But now that we haven't actually installed the table, probably would have been smarter to do it that way. Clearly we're on a little bit of a slant. So another thing that I really wish we had considered more when we were building this van was the trash. I had this brilliant idea that the trash would go under where the sink was, but there just is not enough space when it comes to all of the plumbing that's down there. So we had to find another solution. We could put it under the garage, but it's a little bit inconvenient and we need to find a way to stabilize it. So what we have right now is this. And all we have is just a bungee cord that attaches it. It doesn't open all the way, you know, it gets in the way of this. And I would really like to think of another way. So if you have any ideas, please feel free to put in the comments because I have no idea what to do or where to put it. And this is pretty inconvenient because also when we have to get to the front, we have to climb over, which isn't great. So would love some suggestions, please and thank you. God, we are on a slant. I have literally no idea what number we're on, but this number fill in the blank. Oh, these are in the way. Another thing that would be really nice to have, again, it's not like a make or break deal, but something that it would be a lot more convenient for us, is to have a window here on the sliding door. Because while we do have a good amount of natural light, there are a lot of situations where we have to cover up the windows for privacy, or the way that the sun is hitting our van, it might get too hot for the dogs or for us. And so having that option of being able to alternate between which window would, I think, be really cool. But again, not the end of the world. I like having this thing here. It's insulated. I want to add like all of our Polaroid pictures. I think would be a lot of fun. But anyways, I guess that's something. I have them written down on my phone because I didn't want to forget. Oh, number 9. We have this 12-volt outlet right here. We have not used it at all. We have it for the off chance that we're going to get a 12-volt appliance. We have not gotten one 12-volt appliance. We just use this inverter and it's been fine. But we have in the back 12-volt like charging ports or whatever that have a USB and 2 USB-Cs in them. And it would have been really nice to have one here instead of this, or even just next to it, because whenever we want to charge something up here, we have to turn on our inverter, which does take up more battery, or, we have to climb to the back of the bed, which again is just a small inconvenience. It's really not like the end of the world. And I guess the last thing that I wish that I had done differently during the van build was not worry so much about the little details. I beat myself up over the smallest little things, like the way the cabinet faces. You can see where the wood filler was because I didn't sand it well enough, or how things were crooked, or you can see where the holes were that we put the screws in, and or whatever. Little minute details. I put so much pressure on myself because I wanted it to be perfect. Let me tell you, I do not think about a single one of those things. And if anything, I'm like, I've forgotten that they were a problem to begin with. And I just don't care. I just don't care anymore. I mean, things are gonna get dirty. We get nose prints on all the windows. Like, there's paw prints on everything. The most important thing is that it's safe, structurally sound. We have our electricity, we have our water, we have a warm place to call home. This is just like trial number 1. I feel like we did a phenomenal job with, again, not having any experience. So I think that's 10 things I would have done differently about the van. As I've said, these are all things that are like not deal breakers. To be honest, there is so much more that I love about this van than what I hate about this van or dislike about this van. And that's what I'm really excited to do, is to share a video of all of like the little things that we really love. I hope you stick around. Please subscribe. That video is going to be coming up soon. And I'm going to share more videos about our travels and what it's really been like for us and these 2 dogs, because I think a lot of what is shared, or at least that I've seen on social media when it comes to having dogs and living in a van, can sometimes be over romanticized. Like, this is not what our van looks like most of the time. Like, I cleaned up before this video because I was like, oh, do I really want to see it? Like, no, it doesn't look like this all the time. Like, he's so cute. You're so sweet, buddy. Like, we didn't just like retire early or like have a bunch of money saved up. Like, if on the contrary, we had debt. And that was one of the reasons why we wanted to do this, was to be able to get financially in a better place and to save money so we can one day buy land or buy something like a fixer-upper that we can turn into our future home. So I hope that you subscribe. I hope that you stick around, because there's going to be a lot more that I share about the van and living in the van and our search for home and all of that. So subscribe if you like this video. Please hit that like button. Gosh, that feels so cheesy to say, but I feel like if I don't ask you, you might not do it. So hit the like button, subscribe, stick around, and I guess until next time.